Yeah, I'm afraid like I'm scared as a dog, but I've got a new song and I want y'all to sing along. Sing along. See, this is the way that we walk on a sunny day when it's raining inside and you're all alone. All alone. Yeah, 'cause the whole world loves it when you don't get down. Ba ba da ba 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 da. And the whole world loves it when you make that sound. Ba ba da ba 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 da. And the whole world loves it when you're in the news. Ba ba da ba 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 da. And the whole world loves it when you sing the blues. Ba ba da ba 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 da. Take a little trip, to pack up your mind. Look forward, not behind, then you see what you find. I caught a sucker dying because he thought he could rhyme. Now if his mama's a quarter, daughter must be a dime. I gotta meet her. Don't take no shorts, I don't use a breather. Asian, I don't even play the radio, neither. Only if I need to know the sports or the weather. I'm a cool type brother, but yep, you head a seven from the neck. See, ain't nothing changed to the stage. Set a date, suck and battle, we can engage. I'll slice you, wife you, marry you, divorce you, throw the Porsche you, is what I'm forced to do. With my back against the wall, crack his back, y'all. Nah, it ain't went nowhere, like having hair with style and gel in it. Throw a curl in it, dread the nappy shit up, throw a shell in it. Whatever floats your boat or finds your lost remote. And this is for them niggas working at the airport or got laid off. I take my shades off. If you look straight in my eyes, you start my sea of disguise. Cause the whole world loves it when you don't get down. Bah, 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 okay. Coach, feeling real good. You're gonna be very happy soon. So just sit tight. We'll get to it. Let's load it up here. We're gonna go slide by slide. So, Shedeur Sanders popping off for 364 yards. Right, 64. Browns win the championship, NFL championship in 1964. It's the last time they made it. Shedeur, only rookie to do this since Tom Brady. So only him and Tom have ever done it. We love that company. Coach was going through, looking at all the different playoff teams and stuff. Let's do that real quick. So NFL playoff, what do they call it? Picture. There we go. Let's look at the picture here. So coach's like, I want to know who's going to fucking play in the Super Bowl. If it's not my damn Brownies, it better be something fucking awesome. Okay? So, coach looking out here. We know it's none of these losers. Okay? These dudes are toast, obviously. So none of these bozos are going there. Not convinced with anybody from the AFC North. With like the slight caveat of maybe the Ravens, but there's just like no heat there. Nobody wants the Ravens there. They could make it in like a Giants type of way where it's like, yeah, nobody really wanted them there, but they still exist, so let's just throw them there. But there's no Manning on the team. Lamar Jackson's not an Eli Manning. So I don't buy anybody from the AFC North. So Ravens, Steelers, Bengals, fuck them all. We already know the Browns are done. Right, so coach says none of them. Dolphins got nobody to dance with in coach's book, and they're trash. There's just no way. Chiefs, they're going to try to sell you some desperation Chiefs shit. Coach ain't buying it, okay? Coach was like half stunned, right, and still in a stupor when he replied to Trevor the other day. So just disregard anything I said about the Chiefs. They're cooked for now. Okay, coach is thinking people are done with the Taylor Swift thing. We got Lawrence Taylor shit going down next year with Myles Garrett, right? And Kelsey's from Cleveland. Why not just have him roll over to Cleveland like we want anyway? It makes too much sense. And then have Mahomes bounce back with the Chiefs to lose to the Skins in a couple years. We got a lot more to come there in a minute. Now, so coach ain't buying any of these teams, which is not too surprising, right? They're not even in the top 8. I probably don't have to convince you too hard. Right, let's keep looking. Colts on the bubble. Well, breaking news, they signed grandfather Phillip Rivers at 44 years old. That's definitely looking good for coach's Tom Brady prediction, right? Phillip Rivers ain't ever won shit. Okay, they're really begging for him to come back. At 44 years old, he hasn't played since 2020, 5 years. He hasn't even taken a snap in his 40s. He can come back in his mid-40s and do it. Okay, so coach says the Colts are done. If you weren't already convinced, Sauce Gardner, right? Season-ending injury after they give up all that capital. There's no way it's the Colts. It doesn't make any sense, right? 8-5, they're not that good. Texans, I do know some people that are scared to play the Texans. They have very good defense. They have an Ohio State quarterback. They've got Nick Chubb. But they also have, like, just enough that's never clicked for them. At least, like, this whole year. Like, they're that team you keep waiting to get it all together. It's like they're just not going to, are they? Right? So, like, they've definitely bounced back. Right? They're hot-ish right now. But I'm still not fully sold. And, like, it's going to eventually be Texans. I don't know, probably fucking, like, Texans, Jags or something. When the Jags flip over, we're going to get a Jags Steelers Super Bowl at some point too, right? But it just, nothing feels good for them right now. And most importantly, by curse logic, they're not the Oilers. Okay, it's not that a team can't win with a different name, but it just seems too weird that, like, it's right there to be done, but the Titans won't let it go. Like, there's just too much there against the Texans. Coach doesn't buy it. The Bills, enough said. They're almost certainly only going to dance with the Vikings or the Cowboys. At some point, they're on Hard Knocks. There's just no way. So we're down to 5 teams. Okay, Chargers, tough to buy the team that's second fiddle in LA. So that's the first strike against them. Herbert's always had some durability concerns. The defense isn't quite where you'd want a Super Bowl defense to be. There's just enough there. Coach isn't buying the Chargers. Okay, maybe there's some crazy world where it's Chargers-Niners rematch or something, but Coach isn't threatened. He's saying let them fucking burn them with that. If that's what they do, Coach isn't going to lose sleep over it. Right, so we're saying no on the Chargers. We know enough stuff to think that they're cursed, etc. So we're down to 4 teams in the AFC. Now, why are we looking at the AFC first? Well, we've watched a lot of AFC football, following the Browns. But most importantly, we think the AFC is weaker, and Coach is really good at picking the bitch. Okay, so Coach is looking for his bitch first. So he's thinking the bitch AFC is going to give him his fucking Super Bowl loser, and Coach is the man at picking Super Bowl losers, right? Shout out to my Chiefs last year. Shout out to the Niners, right? We had that shit way in advance both times. Okay, Coach picked the Patriots to lose before with the Eagles. Lots of good stuff. Okay, so this is a good system. So Steelers, we already disqualified them. We're down to 3. Jaguars, dude, first of all, they had the Travis Hunter excuse. Okay? He's done for the season. Trevor Lawrence is a loser. They fired Doug Peterson. I don't trust the Duvall clown at all. People want me to take this team seriously. They told, like, they're 9-4. Like, yeah, you wouldn't be that excited if every other team in the AFC wasn't fucking dog shit mostly. You know what I mean? If, like, the 4 slotted team wasn't 7-6, would you be that excited about 9-4? Right? I've seen 9-4 teams go on to miss the fucking playoffs before. I'm not saying the Jags are missing the playoffs. I don't think they're going to. But they're not getting anywhere near a Super Bowl. This team fucking sucks. Okay, I don't buy the Jags even a tiny bit. Keep in mind, also the team that decided to fuck around with the terrible towel not too long ago. So they definitely aren't too far from flirting with just the dumbest curses you could possibly want to find. So I'm sure they found some way to fuck it up. Now, so we're down to 2 teams. We're down to 2 teams. And do I have to convince you too hard? Is there any one of these teams you're like, no, Coach, come on, you're really going to sleep on the Bills? Those my 7-6 Steelers, you're going to do them that dirty with 3 broken bones in the wrist of their quarterback? Right? Mason Rudolph's going to save Christmas again? Is that what you fucking think? Right? Like, what are we even talking about? The Texans are the only one you can even, like, kind of make an argument for. And like I said, maybe the Ravens. But I'm just cool writing everybody off. We're zoning in on the top 2. Now, when I brought this to my buddy's attention, the coach has to talk about everything he put into this, right? So we're going to drag it out a little bit. Coach had to swallow his fucking pride and talk to the people he wanted to avoid entirely until the Brownies fucking delivered the goods, right? And since they fucking didn't,
I got to hear all this dumb shit like, hey, don't you think maybe you're wrong with the numbers? Maybe you got to change up the way you approach the fucking numbers. Oh, yeah, riding off a fucking perfect UFL season, right, giving you the fucking Super Bowl last year with Cooper DeJean, anytime interception touchdown on his birthday, after I gave you the fucking college football championship. We had a team on a 100-year anniversary going against the flip team, going against the 1942 champs, and I gave you the fucking winner the whole way. We're going to fucking just decide to fucking change it up. And don't you love that too? Like, do you think maybe you did something wrong? Oh, well, I hadn't thought of that. Maybe I did something wrong. Gee, thanks, coach. Fucking asshole. Like, they never like are like, hey, you think maybe you should try doing this or that or that? It's never like anything constructive. Just, hey, let me try to plant some doubt so that I can do anything to try to fucking hinder you from progressing, right? Like, they're never being fucking genuinely helpful. It's always like, hey, well, what about? And then they always want to like minimize everything you've done. Like, I'm the fucking numbers guy. I'm the numbers guy, right? The guy that analyzes every single angle. He's looking into every single name. We're focused on words. We're looking at every single possible way they could be flipping shit, right? Deep history. We're looking at relocations, right? Any type of curse, right? There's nothing we're leaving on the table. We never assume we know how it's being done. We know we don't know how it's being done. We're trying to figure it out in hoping to God that there's some sort of system. Because if there's not, guess what? You're all fucked forever. You're never going to beat any of these leagues unless they were stupid enough, like a common criminal, to leave a blood trail the whole fucking way. And the only way you're even going to get lucky enough to get that with some shit as sophisticated as this is if they're so flagrant, like they are just so unconcerned with you figuring it out, that they're mocking you with it. If they're not actively throwing it in your face, thinking you're too stupid to figure out, you got no chance. That's how much of a disadvantage we're at, right? They've got 30 fucking plus teams in most of these leagues. Okay, like, what do you want? You know, obviously, this isn't to my teammates, right? I don't like to say viewers or subs or anything like that. My teammates, Kat, Trevor, of course, reigning MVP. And of course, Deke, been delivering the goods lately. We got a bunch of other old school heads. Y'all know you never give coach shit, and he appreciates you for that. But to the normies, right, that's who coach has to try to convince. Obviously, he's proven his worth to you time and time again. He shows up and wins and wins and wins and wins and wins. And we lose a lot too, right? It's the name of the game. Like, even hitting 500, right? Like, these fans, they all celebrate a fucking bullshit baseball player, right? Goes up and if he were to hit every other fucking at bat, he'd be the best player ever, right? You hit 500 in the fucking fake baseball league, you're the best player ever. Well, coach wants that type of respect when he's consistently giving you 10 win weeks in the NFL, right? When he's never having a disastrous result. Like, yeah, we don't always win, but it's not like, oh, well, the Lions still showed up and won anyways. What the fuck? Now everything's ruined? Right? That shit doesn't happen, does it? Did Tyson get knocked out? Did Crawford get knocked out? Right? Like, no, it's the exact way I'm telling you these fucking fights are going to go. So coach isn't going to keep blowing his horn forever. But it's just fucking horse shit that coach is even in a position where he has to fucking defend himself. But he also knew that was the only way he was going to get pissed off enough that he was going to do what absolutely needs to be done, which is if we are going to run the Brown script for a third year in a row, we have to do exactly what we did last year, which is bounce back and be the only fucking channel that knocks the shit out of the park. Okay, and that's exactly what we're doing. That's what coach is doing here. And he's more than pissed off enough, and he knows if he doesn't have the goods, then there's nothing we can do. This is the play. Okay, for sure. So we're down to 2 fucking bitches in the AFC. The Broncos and the Patriots, both at 11-2. Most conspiracy theorists are going to say, oh, it's the year of the horse. Okay, well, how's the year of the horse treating the Colts? Okay, how's the year of the horse treating my Mustangs? So I don't want to hear none of that. Okay, I don't give a fuck about your stupid astrology. All right, let's talk football. The Broncos have one of my 2 fantasy quarterbacks. Okay, my backup. They have my backup, Bo Nix. Okay, and I had to think very long and hard on their running back, Ohio State guy, before ultimately settling with the Patriots running back. Okay, and what do you know? The Broncos running back I passed on, season-ending injury, J.K. Dobbins. So they're relying on R.J. Harvey to carry the load the rest of the way with a young Bo Nix, right? And young quarterback isn't a knock on them versus the Patriots. They're both in the same boat there. But, take your choice. Drake May or Bo Nix. The Broncos got the better defense. They might end up with home field. That's probably going to be a big difference maker there. I would certainly be doing everything I possibly could if I'm the Patriots to make sure there's no scenario where I have to go to Denver. But they don't control their own destiny. If the Broncos went out, they're going to have to go there. But Coach is saying, if that's not the AFC Championship, it might as well be because those are your two best teams. That's why they're at the top of the bracket. It sucks that we're narrowed in on. We'd much rather be looking at this, right, and fighting between these two teams. But that's not the reality. These are your teams, okay? And they're not going to pay as good, but it is what it is. All right, so Pats Broncos, like I said, between the injury and all that sort of stuff, it just became very obvious to me, the Patriots are not only making it, but they're losing. So the Patriots are our bitch, and Coach began thinking a bit more. Well, Drake May, right? Obviously, we know the UNC connection, blah, blah, blah. Well, it gives them an excuse to talk about Tom Brady, of course. But Drake, well, what do you know? The Blue Jays just lost the World Series, right? Drake's from Toronto. So there's a little something there. I've got a lot more somethings, but we're going to need to wait until we get our matchup here before Coach digs into it. So Coach says, fuck everybody else but the Patriots. They're our clear bitch, and they're going down. So we got to figure out who they're losing to. Okay? Well, right at the top, Coach didn't need to even scroll. That's it right there. It's the damn Rams. Okay, our Cleveland Rams. Cleveland Rams with Matt Stafford from the Lions. Sitting right there. What do you know? Coach's starting fantasy quarterback. The guy everybody told you was too old, but Coach looked into it. Was like, oh, look, they're selling you science. He's on some crazy experimental shit. He's going to be fine. He had suspiciously good receivers with Puka and Devontae Adams. The running back situation seems healthy, right? I trust Blake. Coach liked Blake Corum as his fifth running back, even though he never saw the field, just because Coach knew if he did get out there, he'd tear it up. The all-time Michigan leader in touchdowns. It'd be nice to have a Michigan guy, right? Of course, with Tom Brady and before they had Charles Woodson with the tuck rule, all that sort of stuff, right? So Coach says Patriots versus Rams seems like a lot, but just due diligence to look down. Packers aren't there yet. The Eagles are on Hard Knocks. We've got them cursed for 52 years. Baker's had way too much bad luck. That whole team's been injured the whole year. It's not the Bucs, and they're not going to diminish Tom Brady by having the Bucs pop up. Okay? Seahawks. It's nice that they're in the conversation because, in that Pete Carroll's team, and he's $1 billion years old. Or is he coaching somewhere else now? Is he with the Raiders? I don't even know. I get confused. Right? Let's just kind of skip over the Seahawks and just give Coach a pass if there's something huge he's missing there. The Niners, right? McCaffrey's made of glass. They've had their run a few times. They're just mostly boring, right? And then the Bears, they hosted the draft. They still got a young quarterback. They're having a nice season. But, none of these are doing it for Coach. Absolutely. These teams are already eliminated. Right, so NFC East on Hard Knocks. 2 of the 5 teams eliminated are in the NFC East. The Cardinals used to be in the NFC East. Okay? And then the Cowboys right down there near the bottom, having traded their best player. Lions basically just ruined their season. Okay? So you're currently at 11% to make the playoffs. They're probably not even in the playoffs. Lions with 52% in the year 2025. Same with the... Oh, no, they're the only 52%. Okay. So, Coach thinks for sure Patriots, Rams. So let's look at why this would be interesting. Okay, let's see. Let Coach get us off. Right here. Super Bowl 36, so right after 9/11, you get the Patriots winning their first Super Bowl. Okay, the franchise's first league championship of any time. Okay, 2001, that will be 25 years from the Super Bowl of the 2025 season. Right? Obviously, Super Bowl will be played in 2026. 25 years ago, 2001, Patriots beating the Rams. Okay? They say it's one of the 20 most important games in NFL history. The Patriots were huge underdogs. The Rams had just won a Super Bowl a couple years before, which the Super Bowl was played in the year 2000, which just squeaks in there to also be 25 years from the 2025 season. Okay? Am I getting your interest yet? How about this? Super Bowl 36. Did you know the Cleveland Rams were formed in 1936? 1936 for the team that was in Super Bowl 36. How about this? Flip it around, 36, 63. You got the Patriots losing the AFL championship, which you want to have some more fun? 2026, flip it around. 62 years from the 2025 season is 1963. Okay, you with Coach yet? Now this is also, we're talking about 52. Right, for the 2025s, all sort of stuff. Patriots lost Super Bowl 52. Okay, Patriots also popped up into the Super Bowl after the Eagles won it the last time. Okay, and the Patriots won. And Coach thinks the Patriots are a perfect team that everybody can sell you as the favorite. That's not really the favorite. Right? Nobody really wants the Patriots to win. The Rams are the perfect team. Everybody wants to win, but they're not going to think they're going to win. And also you got things like Aaron Donald just retired. Of course, Donald Trump in office. Right? But Aaron Donald, he could come back for one game just to play in the Super Bowl. Why the hell not? You know who else just suspiciously waited forever to retire? Ndamukong Suh, Lions legend who was on that Rams Super Bowl team. Just retired in August. Why wait so long? He hasn't played in years. Wait until 2025 to retire. Does he come back for one game as well? Right? Maybe they need a little bit of help on the D-line, so you just bring Sue and Donald off the couch to pair up for one. Yeah, that doesn't sound too crazy to Coach. Now, let's see. Of course, the Rams beat the Bengals. So the Rams beat the Bengals. But, so that's their big Super Bowl. That's supposed to be the one that got them over as a franchise, right? So you like the LA Rams now because they're Super Bowl winners. Beating the Bengals? That doesn't do it for Coach. It's not terrible. I'll take a Super Bowl win over not a Super Bowl win. But did that really... Everybody's immediately sold. There's nobody in LA that doesn't remind people, yeah, you beat the Bengals, dude. Good job. Right? Nobody's that impressed. Okay? Beating the Patriots, who have whooped the Rams' ass in the Super Bowl twice now. This would be the 3-match with the Rams finally getting over. Okay, shout out to my buddy Deke, who in the comments said he liked the Patriots to beat the Rams. I thought that was weirdly, what do you call it? Right, we're synced up. Only, of course, he has it going the other way. But Coach says the Patriots aren't getting 7 rings. That's one big tell. It once again diminishes Brady. That's stupid. They're not going to diminish Brady. The Patriots are going to lose. No. Check it out. The referee, Bernie Kukar, is now like Bernie Kosar. Louisiana Superdome, that's where the Super Bowl was just held. This Super Bowl was going to be held at the Niner Stadium. What do you know? This one's held at the Niner Stadium. Mariah Carey, that's like Drew Carey. Okay, and who was the quarterback who got injured? Drew Bledsoe. So there's your Drew Carey joke. Okay. Marshall Faulk, like Marshall Mathers, of course. Faulk, like Kevin Faulk, the Patriots. Told you you're going to be happy with Coach. We're not even close to done. Let's see here. Ty Law and Lawyer Malloy. Coach says they're going to put it really close so you can see the joke, right? They won't rub in your face. So Law and Law. Right? You can believe that stupid, corny shit. And so Peyton, they got Walter Payton here. Peyton Manning, of course, breaks the Lions curse, but also bitter rival with Patriots. So Peyton is the rival of the Patriots. Okay, so super cute. Obviously, we know the Bill Parcells and Bill Belichick gag they love. Also, another 25. Why did the Patriots come back from 25 points down in the Super Bowl against the Falcons? That passed only the Patriots come back over the Rams as the biggest in Super Bowl history. So that's why we don't talk about this game as much, because the Patriots won up themselves. Right, but this was the OG. Also, 48-yard field goal. We got Brady coming out, 48 years old. Of course, the Tuck rule game, we know about Justin Tucker. Justin Tuck. All right. And we got Justin Tucker. He was high school teammates with Nick Foles, who, of course, Brady faced in the Super Bowl. Justin Tucker with the Ravens. He used to be the Browns. He's got all the SA stuff, right? The naughty stuff, just like Deshaun Watson, just like, all the other members on the Browns. Also think of like Deshaun Watson, Deshaun Kaiser. Coach told you Jerry Jeudy is Deshaun Jackson. Isn't it weird? They're the team that drafts quarterbacks named Deshaun. You really think that's a coincidence? So they got Chris Brown there, which of course we know Chris Brown like the Rihanna beater. But also Brown, of course, like the Cleveland Browns. And Coach, so this is interesting, Antoine Harris, that made Coach think of Antoine Randall L. And even though it's spelled a little bit differently, if you think Coach is wrong, at the bottom there they throw in Cordell Stewart. So almost certainly that was Antoine Randall L. Let's see. That's the stuff I told you about San Fran. September 16, that's Goff's number is 16. That might be nothing, but just like it. So this was kind of interesting. So the Patriots, they do a logo with the 48 contiguous states, right? So 48 states. Brady's going to be 48 once again. And someone from Philadelphia wrote an article on it. And, of course, they go on to face the Eagles in the Super Bowl twice. Coach has a lot more. We just got to get to it. Also, Patriots were also in the 2005 Super Bowl. It's another 2 and a 5. The Rams 2 Super Bowls, the year 2000 and 2022. So you've got a 2. So for both of them, just have 2 numbers, just 2s and 0s. Well, the first is 1, 2, and 3 zeros. The second is 1, 0, and 3 2s. So that's definitely interesting. Something up there. They won back in the day before the Super Bowl in like 1951 and 45 or something like that. Not quite sure what to make of those just yet. Let's see. We'll get back to cooking. Coach thought of some stuff. He's just got to get it back in gear. So Terry Bradshaw was there, of course. TB12, right? They're both TB12, and Terry Bradshaw checked into a hotel under the name Tom Brady back in the day, so we know that that's for sure Bradshaw. And check it out. So Coach told you about the Marshall Faulk thing, right? Well, why did M&M's win Commercial of the Year? Right, so M&M's absolutely knocks it out of the fucking park when Marshall Faulk's in the Super Bowl. Barry Manilow. So there's a Barry for us. There's a Ford. I guess so. We'll get to cooking again. Coach just has to get it. Coach literally just thought of a bunch of stuff he wanted to say. So Isaac Bruce, that's like Marshall Bruce Mathers. Terrell Buckley, that's like Terrell Owens. They go against in the Super Bowl later. So there's your Cleveland Rams, right? Team who left too soon. Richard Seymour makes you think of Richard Sherman, who they'd go on to face in the Super Bowl later. Brady's longest pass was to Troy Brown. Right, wouldn't that be something if he goes on to beat the Browns? Belichick coach, blah, blah, blah. There's your 48-yard field goal. And to make it better, the Rams attempted a 48-yarder and then the rematch and missed. Come back from 25 points down, like Coach told you. Second biggest Super Bowl underdog to win behind only the Jets in Super Bowl III. You don't think they're fucking itching to get this one back? The Rams, I guarantee you Rams fans thought this was a no-doubter. They thought nobody could beat their team. That team was so good. And then, of course, this leads right into the Sox with their Curse of the Bambino. We now know that the Sox are epically cursed again. I don't like, if I'm a Patriots fan, seeing Belichick and Brady leaving without finishing their careers. You know, that screams curse to coach. I don't see why they'd pop right back in and win it. That seems stupid. No, that's impossible, but I don't buy it. And so talking about having a throwback feel. Yes, and then that's where does it really get fun? Where does it really get fun? The Rams fucking rematch, dude. That was Jared Goff's loss. Jared Thomas Goff. What do you know, right? Sitting right there on the fucking Lions. Guy that got traded for Stafford. Goff is facing the Rams this weekend. Coach thinks he gets injured, but might be saving it for next year. We'll see. Maroon 5, don't the Browns wear maroon and orange? There's Bernice, that's like Bernie. Gladys Knight, Bob Knight died. 5.25, that's a 25 palindrome both ways. Harlan, Kevin, well, I guess we know the Harlans are connected to this a lot. Sorry. Can't get too excited about that Harlan, but you don't see it all the time. It's definitely one of our names. Stephon Gilmore was one of the leaders on the team. They just had Happy Gilmore too. Travis Kelce was in the movie with Kelsey Plum. Oh, shit. And Deshaun Jackson fucking blew his chance. He blew his chance. He was going to be on that Rams team that beat the Bengals. That's hilarious. Okay. The McCourty twins. Second-year quarterback Jared Goff. Drake May was going to be a second-year quarterback, right? This year. Isn't that what he's on? Brandon Cooks, and he just got signed somewhere. So he's back in the league. And, of course, there's Sue. Sue won that Super Bowl, too, with Stafford. He's the least liked player. I'm thinking of least liked players, it makes me think of, like, Phillip Rivers, too. So there's Sue's mom, Bernadette. That's House of Spears. I swear Spears keeps coming up. Cameroon. Maroon 5 and Cameroon. Didn't catch that the first time. Odette, that's kind of like Odell Beckham Jr., right? Patriots face the Giants in the Super Bowl. Sorry, I know I'm leaving stuff on the table, but Coach trying his best. So 66-year-old Belichick against 33-year-old Sean McVay. So obviously exactly half the age. Some of their favorite numbers, 33 and 66. First time McVay's Rams had ever been shut out in the first half. There's your 48-yard field goal, but he missed wide left, securing the Patriots' 6th Super Bowl titles. This was the last time they won. Yup. Brady became the oldest quarterback to win and appear in the Super Bowl. Of course, Brady breaks his own record by doing it again with the Buccaneers. Stephen Leroy DeBerg was older than Brady. Well, what do you know? Belichick's dad is named Stephen, and Leroy Kelly is a Brown. Okay, so basically, God, I can't believe I didn't think of more of the stuff I was going to tie together with. But that was a lot, right? So we're not looking quite as good as what we would want, but it's far from bad. So basically, a 2-leg, Rams beating Patriots, and Bronny beating his hometown Cavaliers. That 2-leg is popping off at like 950 to 1. Right, so just a shade under 1,000 to 1. So we can definitely get paid a little bit. As far as like the Lakers, Cavs, the Lakers were the Detroit. Here we go. Coach's gonna get cooking here. So the Lakers were the Detroit Gems. So that's the only way they can run Cleveland, Detroit, besides the NFL, because in baseball they're in the same league, and Cleveland doesn't have a hockey team, right? So that makes perfect sense to Coach. This is where you're really going to be happy with Coach. Coach thinks he finally caught on to the bigger trend that's happening here. It's teams that have relocated and changed their names. Okay? So we got the Thunder coming to mind, obviously. I had like a big long list. Hopefully they actually like all come back to Coach. So the Thunder, we have the Skins popping up soon and doing it, right? Like Cleveland lost their team. The Browns, right, and got them back. So that would fit the mold with them popping up next year. The Dodgers, right, they moved from New York. Gosh, there was like so many. I was literally like stunned when I was thinking about it. I was like, wow, that's definitely it. But like basically, yeah, Coach definitely says teams that have moved, relocated, changed names. Oh, like so the Lakers, of course, are the Detroit Gems. The Eagles just won the Super Bowl. They were the Frankfurt Yellow Jackets, right? Like it's genuinely a lot when you think about it. I just gotta, get back in that mindset. It's just not working right now. Let's see, but here's Deke saying, thinking out loud, Patriots versus Pats win some kind of U.S.-Ukraine ritual. Not sure where you're going with that, so if you'd elaborate, Coach, would greatly appreciate it. What's this? Oh, and then like little matchup stuff like Phillip Rivers on the Colts. It's probably a sign they're going to face the Chargers in the playoffs. The Patriots, God, I had a good team for them. I can't even think. Oh, like the Chiefs. The Chiefs, like Kelsey just fell apart against the Houston Texans. The Chiefs used to be the Dallas Texans. Once again, Chiefs were just in the Super Bowl. Used to be the Dallas Texans. Moved and changed their name, right? So I'm telling you, it's a lot. It's been happening a lot. As far as like, we'll get to this another time. But Coach, appreciate you. Let me know your thoughts. We're going to have, and then of course we want to know what's going on in college football as well. So if you got any thoughts there, Coach is kind of stand Oklahoma the whole year, but